I'm Wayne Martin. I'm the welding supervisor here at Trinder, so I look after all the welding qualifications and more of the compliance work around especially the structural steel side of it. The company put me through a weld supervisor's course, I think 3 years ago, and so just because I had a pretty good background with the welding, did a lot of welding in Australia and New Zealand and stuff, so sort of a lot of ASME 9 type work, as well as the old 4711, which was back in the day, and then 2809, and now that we've moved to the ISO standard here at Trinder Engineers. I think it originally came about because of the price of the CO2, more than doubled, so, and then Chris from Proline approached us and said, hey, we've got this wire, runs on a mix of margin and CO2, and so I think originally it was more about the cost for the shielding gas, because we use a lot of it, so coming from a sales rep, they're going to try to sell you anything, and try and sell to China. So it was more about, well, hey, give us a go with it. We'll get back to you and give you some feedback on what the guys think, because at the end of the day, the guys on the floor are the ones using it, so I sort of rely on them to tell me what they want and what they're happy with. So after the trials we had with it, we were pretty happy. And then, of course, being a weld supervisor, it was like, okay, now does it meet the classification we need for doing structural or for the compliance side of it? And it's well and truly within those parameters, so they tick that box as well. Once again, as a weld supervisor, now do we need to change all our procedures, because we're using a new shielding gas. So I got in touch with the local surveyors here, or the NDT people, talked to them a little bit about it, and they're like, no, well, all you need to do is do a macro, send it into us, get it okayed from us, get it back, and then it's just a matter of as a revision on our original procedures. So it wasn't having to go through that whole procedure, doing all new procedures for the wire, which was good. So it was a lot less work for us, and it made for a smoother transition. And because that wire does run on CO2 as well, we could always go back to CO2 if we needed to. And the parameters that the guys were welding with the new wire still within the parameters of the original procedure, so it was a pretty easy transition. I haven't had one of my guys say to me that they didn't think it was any good or was harder to use, or they all decided pretty much straight away from using it that this is pretty good. Like, it seems to run a lot smoother, and as I say, for positional welding, just it looks better, and the macros prove that it was still getting the penetration that it needed and that kind of thing, so it ticked all the boxes. At the end of the day, because if those guys are happy using it, then we're happy for them to use it. And of course, the other benefit for us, because its productivity is higher, so the cost is a bit less for us. So I think, like I say, originally when we did the test with the time, we did a metre long run, did the timing and the productivity straight away. It was a quicker run, but still come within the limits of the procedure, so that's just sort of why I got them to do that test in the first place, to make sure we didn't have to change too much in our procedure. So for us, it was just a natural progression to go to that wire, and I think we're pretty happy with it. And I actually think this wire is lower fume than the low fume stuff we had. They sort of advertised as being low fume, and then we run the new wire, and the guys are saying it's less fumey than the low fume wire that we were using. So I think Kerry had on it before that, as far as health and safety goes, and the guys using it, they want to know that they're not breathing in that contaminant, or that there's less of it, then there's less chance of further complications.